Good morning to you from Holy Trinity Gislam. You might be able to see behind me that there is a pipe organ. Now, there are many churches in the UK that still have these organs. Some of them are still functioning. Some of them actually have fallen into disrepair. You might be able to notice, if you've got a large screen, I'll come a little bit closer here, and you can see the pipes, or the front pipes of this organ have got a sort of a decorative pattern on them. And a friend of mine is a musician, and he pointed something out to me about these organs that I didn't realize. That these pipes on the front are simply for decoration. They're actually not there to use at all for the purposes of the music. The real pipes are actually inside the organ. And I began to think about our lives as Christians. And I asked myself the question, what kind of a face do we wear to the world when the real functioning power of the person is actually behind the facade? And two scriptures came to mind this morning, and one in particular strikes me. And it's a verse from Jeremiah. It's chapter 15, verse 19. I'll read it to you here. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, if thou return, then will I bring thee again, and thou shalt stand before me. And if thou take forth the precious from the vial, thou shalt be as my mouth. Let them return unto thee, but return not thou unto them. So God is making a distinction here between the true and the false, the precious and the vile. And here again I come back to the organ. I think about the face that we put on. Perhaps at times that false face, when behind the scenes we're thinking something completely different. Paul also warns us in the book of Timothy, 1 Timothy chapter 4. I'll just read the first few verses here. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly, that in latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, speaking lies in hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron. And so, the time is coming, and is certainly been coming ever since the time the apostles died, that false doctrines have been preached. But people do this, don't they? We all do it in our hearts. We wear the decorative, but we don't actually reveal the truth. And God is wanting to allow his word. He wants us to submit to his word today, and allow the sword of his Spirit to divide our souls and spirits, so that we don't put on a face like the front of the organ here, that we don't wear decoration, but that from the outside of our heart to the very deepest sections of our heart, our lives are given over completely to the Lord. That's what he desires for us, is that we walk in truth in the inward parts. I've spoken about this before. Yes, these are beautiful buildings, aren't they? One can come in here and sit down and worship, and certainly put on the facade of worship. Reminds me of another scripture. They worship me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. So today, a short exhortation just to say, don't be like this pipe organ behind me here. Don't be decorative. Allow God to cut you to the heart with his word, so that we can know the truth and let the truth set us free, so that we're honest right the way through. That there's nothing in us that people can point fingers at and say, there's an untruth there, there's a hypocrisy there. God has something fresh and new for us every morning. And let us walk in that. And I exhort you today. Have a blessed day.